State of the Nation address. Before I go any further, please watch this video.
We have the rules of the house.
Honorable member, this is not a perfect wedding. What rule are you writing? Honorable Josie, take your seat. Honorable members of the EFF, honorable member, take your seat.
Honorable
Leave
Speaker,
your seat.
Honorable Speaker, we have rules of the house here. We are not adjudicating on.
And this was our perfect wedding by Mboyiseni Josie. Yes, guys, so yesterday it was SONA 2020, as you've seen, and a whole lot of emotions, a whole lot of engagements, a whole lot of things were happening. Chaos in the parliament, of course, EFF trying to get rid of the clerk, of course, and until, of course, they were kicked out. And before it even began. But now we also have to look at, okay, what are the South African citizens thinking and how are they affected about this? Because at the end of the day, as a South African citizen, you want to know what's happening. Are you sorted in terms of the things that you're expecting from the government, things that you're expecting from the president's office and all that? And I must say there are mixed emotions around all of this. People feel like, you know what, the president is saying all of this, but nothing gets implemented. The same things that have been said, they are not done. They've been said years and years, but they're not even implemented. And now one would say, but do we need to be so hard on the president and expect things to be done just like that? Because he's still fixing the mess of our former president. It can be an argument, but now without dwelling much into that, you know, the mixed emotions that are there, or the main concerns that people have, is the Eskom, including myself as a self-employed person who's working in a digital space. I worry each and every day that, okay, if electricity goes, it means that I'm not going to be making sales or pushing my business, because if lights are out, then I can't do much until the lights come back. And by the time, you know, you've got electricity, the day is done. You didn't do anything. So those are some of the concerns that are actually affecting our people. And they're affecting a whole lot of businesses. And those are things that we'll need to look into, because as much as the president speaks about, you know, employment, speaks about, you know, jobs and opportunities be given to others. And like, as you saw yesterday, there were 3 entrepreneurs that are now being put on being supported on what they do. And the president, you did mention that, you know what, we should support like our local industries and, you know, emphasize a lot on entrepreneurship and, you know, making sure that we consider it, which is great. And we are happy about that. As an entrepreneur, I'm happy that the president is actually emphasizing that, which is great, you know. But we can't shy away from the fact that there are still kids that have to travel to school, having to cross rivers. There are kids that fall in toilets, settlements that are just not in good conditions, which is still a major problem. And not forgetting the incident that happened of a young girl who was 15 months old baby. Like, imagine, guys, being taken from their home. You know, robbers came in, took the phone from, I think it's the mother, and they took the baby. And the next thing, the baby was found in the near bush, murdered there, brutally murdered. The knife next to her. I mean, what do you call that? You know, as a woman, we are not safe in our country and all that, and we want emphasis on how can we be safe? How can we be sure that things are going to be done right for us? You know, all these criminals, how are they going to be punished? You know, yes, the president did mention that, you know, the penalties that are going to be given, you know, there are things that are going to change. But now, we still want to see something being applied right about now. And I don't want to be scared in my country. I don't want to feel like in my country I need to worry about, what's going to happen to me, what's going to happen to my friend, what's going to happen to my sister, what's going to happen to my brother, what's going to happen to my family. We need to take into account that our safety is more important and all that. But like I said, there are a whole lot of issues. But anyway, on a lighter note, obviously the president also mentioned that, they'll be implementing the coding system, which can be implemented from grade 0 to grade 3 for robotics education, like, so that young people can be exposed to this, which I think is great, because as we are aware that what is happening in our community economy right now is that people are getting retrenched, a lot of things are changing, and robots are taking over and all that. So innovation, it's becoming a big thing. You have to be innovative, think of how you can change things around. And with that said, I believe that the president is actually in the right angle with that, and it's important that people get to adapt. And what better way to do it than to start at a young age? So I think that's great right there. And of course, our Kolisi and Zuzibini Tunzi were there as well, and our president really celebrated them, which was quite great. And we can't shy away from the fact that our Miss Universe, did mention that we should take up space. And I think this is the main reason why I'm even sharing this, to say, what, as a woman, I'm taking up space, and I believe that other women out there have the power to take up space, have the power to love themselves as they are, have the power to raise their flag high, have the power to embrace their hair, embrace how they look. And you remember that young girl, is it Mbali? I don't remember her name. That young girl who stood her ground to say, I'm not gonna tie my hair or cut it or anything like that. This is my hair, I'm gonna embrace it. And that is something that she stood by until today she still stands by it. So those are things, that the values that we need to look into and say, hey, even people were attacking her, by the way, on Twitter. I think people were like, okay, so what is she? Is she an activist? So apart from her just raising a hand because of Mama Winnie Mandela and the rights of women and standing her ground, what's there about her? But now we forget that what's there is that she has stood her ground, and she has made sure that other girls gets to be proud of who they are and to embrace their hair as they are, and not to be taken for granted. And that is also what Zozi was emphasizing, that you should not think that your own natural hair will not take you anywhere. You can be whatever that you want with that hair that you have. You are no different. So with that said, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please make sure that you subscribe. So I'll leave you with this few words from Zozibini, and which she shared on her post, and which I think is quite awesome. And it still emphasizes that, hey, lady, take up space. It is your time. With that said,
I want to reassure people that this hair is as beautiful as any other hair. I want people to stop asking me, why do you choose to have your hair? Because it's my hair. It's normal. I did not know that I would be Miss Universe, because I did not know it was possible for someone like me. But now I confidently know that when you ask a young girl who looks like me, do they know if they can become Miss Universe? I know they can say that they can. Okay, that's amazing. Thank you, Zozibini, and continue inspiring other women to take up space.